Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go on to clean this up. Please be patient with me. Today my laptop seems to be working a little bit slowly. So thank you for your patience. Here we go ahead. Let's go to the next one. Now here, there's just one sentence, so take a moment. The teacher read dash interesting article from the newspaper. Is it a, an, or the?
Ma'am, and
And absolutely correct. Because nothing is specified. It's not talking about like Times of India or Hindustan Times or what is the article about. Is it an article written by a certain person or is it by, about something specific? There is nothing specific here. So we definitely, and works beautifully. Okay, so if you want to take some time to write down the sentence, please do it. I don't mind giving you a little bit of extra time. The next one says, there was dash huge crowd of people outside the stadium. So take some time.
a huge crowd.
Okay. Well, yeah, again, nobody is specific, nothing is specific here. We don't know these people. We just know it's a huge crowd. And that's the interesting thing about English. So when you decide to say a crowd, the crowd, we are already talking about a lot of people. What is the is more for the huge. It's a huge crowd of people outside the stadium. So that's the interesting thing about English. Sometimes it puts people, like it knocks you off a little bit, but crowd is a lot of people, but that doesn't mean you pluralize it. It's still a huge crowd. Okay, so let's go to the next one. And all of you say this loud, say the sentence out loud. It'll be super, super helpful for you all. If you'll just say it out loud, it'll help you understand. Does a work? Does the an work? Does the the work? Because you start thinking, does it sound right?
And
sorry,
Jia talked for
just hold on. Sorry. Harsh, go ahead.
Jia talked for an hour about her school project.
Oh my God, Harsh. I was hoping I would, give you a googly and put an hour here, but you remembered. Well done. So hour is one of the exceptions where we don't use a, we use an. So I was hoping to trip you guys there, but well done. Jia talked for an hour about her school project. Yeah, an hour. So remember, there are some exceptions, and hour is, that word is definitely an exception. Does anybody remember? We talked about a different exception as well. There's one more word. Do you guys remember? Jisme exception chalta hai?
Honest.
Jia talked for an, no, she not talked. So give it to me in a sentence. Would you like to give it to me in a sentence?
She was very honest.
She is an honest person. Well done. Okay, so there are some exceptions, and I'm not sure whether you guys remember. There's another exception of a different kind. So this is for an. When we use European or anything to do with Europe, that word, we definitely use a European holiday. I went on a European holiday, not an European holiday, because though E is, a vowel, but still we don't use and, we use a. Okay, so there are some exceptions, and we don't worry too much about the exceptions, but it's nice to know. And when you use it, that'll be really awesome. Especially when you're writing in a letter, or you're writing an essay, or you're writing even a project. Okay, that's really useful. Okay, let's find out this one. Just two more, and then we'll start with the new thing today. Dash professor was invited to speak to the committee.
The professor was invited.
Oh, so I heard different things. I heard a and I heard the. So take a moment. Don't say anything. Take a moment to think which one it would be. So if somebody said a and somebody said the. So take a moment and read it out loud for yourself. Okay, and see what makes sense.
The professor. And I would say the professor.
I think you might want to raise your hand because I think two people are talking at the same time. Just raise your hand, then I'll just call you out. Yeah, go ahead, Kirti.
And I feel the professor because there was a particular professor which was invited to speak in the community.
Okay. Preeti, do you have something different to add?
Ma'am, I think there should be a professor.
Okay, now a professor would have helped if you are talking something about generally about professors. A professor is a very, what you call absent-minded person. A professor is a very absent-minded person, and that is very interesting because means it could be, we're just generally talking about professors. The reason this one is not general is one word, okay? So it becomes the, and the reason it becomes the professor is because he was invited to the committee. Okay, so there was a specific professor who was invited to the committee. So whoever is saying the sentence knows the professor and knows the committee. Okay, if we generally say, a professor is so absent-minded, isn't he, compared to a doctor, but compared to a doctor, you know, so like you're generally talking about the traits of a professor or a doctor. So when you're talking about someone who knows, okay, this professor was invited to the committee, we didn't take the name, so that's why there was a confusion. But the moment you said to the committee, that becomes personal. That becomes specific more than personal. It becomes specific. Okay. So you guys are doing such a great job. I hope everybody's getting a chance to say things, and please put it in the chat if you don't want to say it out loud. I'm so happy to hear from you. Okay, we just make it interesting. Well, what is today's lesson about then? Well, today's lesson is about prepositions. Just put in the chat if you already know what a preposition is. Just put it in the chat, it'll be fun. You guys know what a preposition is? Yeah, now this word actually sounds very complicated, but it's not. It's something that we use every day, all the time when we're speaking in any language. So every language has its prepositions. अब कोई भी भाषा में बात कर रहे हो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. Prepositions के बगैर आप sentence complete नहीं कर सकते हो. Okay, without prepositions, you can't complete a sentence. It is like literally saying, sorry?
Preposition to and towards जो हम nouns pronouns के आगे लगाते हैं.
बिल्कुल ठीक, absolutely correct. बिल्कुल ठीक. जब आप किसी noun या pronoun को describe करते हो, क्या हो रहा है उसके साथ, so आपको दो nouns को connect करना है. Say Jayashree swimming. It doesn't make any sense, right? So unless you connect it with a preposition, she is in the swimming pool. You know, if you don't say that, you have no idea what Jayashree is swimming. क्या है connection क्या है? She's swimming in the sea. She's swimming in the river. So that makes it worthwhile to understand what's going on. Okay. And before I get into the nitty gritty of what is a preposition or आप कैसे use करते हो और examples, उससे पहले मैं एक बात बोल रही हूँ, आपको ये prepositions अगर ठीक समझ में आए, आपका writing बहुत ज़्यादा improve होगा. Your writing will become a very high quality. So आपका communication, पिछली बार भी हम बात कर रहे थे communication के बारे में, right? Grammar का main job क्या है? हमारा communication आसान करना, हमारा value देना हमारे thoughts को. अगर हमारा communication ठीक नहीं है, तो हमारे सारे thoughts waste हो जाएंगे ना, हमारे अच्छे ideas waste हो जाएंगे, हमारे opinions waste हो जाएंगे. So उसको value देने के लिए और ताकि लोगों को समझ में आए कि हमारा real thing क्या है बात करने का, reason क्या है, हमारा crux क्या है बात करने का, तो उसके लिए बिल्कुल grammar की बहुत जरूरत है. And one of the things you're going to use very often is a preposition. So every time now you do give a writing assignment, or you write a letter, an official letter, or you write a project, always watch out for the prepositions. Okay, double check करना prepositions के लिए कि मैंने correct वाले use करे हैं, appropriate use किए हैं, guess नहीं किया है. Okay, so make sure you're using the correct ones. So when you guess and say, okay, मैं ये try करूँगा, ये वो try करूँगी, then you will not be sure whether it is correct. Okay, so that's, I'm going to give you the definition of preposition and all that, but the usage is most important. So I think somebody was absolutely right when they said कि हम जब noun और pronoun को introduce करते हैं, उसके बारे में हम बताते हैं, ज़्यादा information देते हैं, that's when it becomes a preposition. Okay, so ये 3 तरह के preposition होते हैं. आप 1 मिनट थोड़ा सा time लेके just watch what's on the screen. Okay, और मैंने कुछ words को एक red box में डाला है. So आप loudly बोलिए and think about it. Is it making sense to me? Have I used this before? मैंने बातों में या लिखने में ये use किया है पहले? मेरा comfort level क्या है ऐसे words के साथ? So 1 minute आप please think about it. और सोच लीजिए आपको इसमें से सबसे ज्यादा कंफर्टेबल कौन सा है और सबसे ज्यादा नॉट सो कंफर्टेबल क्या है. लाइक मे बी टाइम के बारे में मेरे को पता नहीं चलता है. शुड आई से एट द वीकेंड, इन द वीकेंड, ऑन द वीकेंड, क्या करना चाहिए मुझको? इन मार्च, इन द मंथ ऑफ मार्च, ऑन द मंथ ऑफ मार्च, एट द मंथ ऑफ मार्च, मेरा क्लियर नहीं है. सो देन दैट इज समथिंग यू आर गोइंग टू लर्न. द डॉग इज इन फ्रंट ऑफ द मैन. फ्रंट का मतलब क्या है? What does the position mean? The dog is behind the postman. Do I understand the position? Am I telling the position correctly? जब मैं words use करती हूँ front, next to, behind, between, मैं clear हूँ कि ये words क्या mean करते हैं. Okay? So मैं काफी visual दूंगी आपको so that it's clear to you. अगर आप screenshots लेना चाहते हैं तो screenshots ले सकते हैं. अगर आपको मेरे presentation का copy चाहिए तो just please रचना मैम को बता दीजिए. And I'll make sure you have this for you. Okay, so I will make a PDF and I'll send it to you. Okay, so just let Rachna ma'am know if it's helpful. Okay, then there is things about position. No, not position. Sorry, it is about movement. Am I going into the room or am I going out of the room? Is Bobby coming down the stairs or is he going up the stairs? Is he going over something? Okay, so that becomes movement ka. So 3 kinds of prepositions are ek karke lenge so that it's clear to us. So let's take a little time to understand what a preposition is. आपको बिल्कुल ये memorize नहीं करना है. आप कभी अगर preposition क्या है याद नहीं आया कोई बात नहीं है. लेकिन जब आप ऐसे words को देखेंगे और आप उसको correctly use करेंगे, then you have got it. Okay? और ये सिर्फ प्रैक्टिस के साथ ही आएगा. जितना आप मिस्टेक्स करोगे ना इतना आप बेटर लर्न करोगे. सो डोंट बी अफ्रेड टू यूज द वर्ड्स बिकॉज यू गोइंग टू मेक मिस्टेक्स. बिकॉज ये कोई रेस नहीं है कि मेरे को कल तक सारे प्रेपोजिशन आने चाहिए यूज करने के लिए. You only think I have to get better at it. I have to get better each day, and there is no way to get better unless I do say it and I make mistakes. Okay, so a preposition is a word which is placed before a noun or a pronoun to show its relation with something else in the sentence. The connection दिखाने के लिए you have preposition. Okay, so I'm going to give you some. We'll start with prepositions of place. So जगह का preposition. So I'll try to give you a visual. Okay, आप 1 मिनट ये visual देखिए. So this is a little platypus. एक छोटा animal है जो box के इर्द गिर्द घूम रहा है और उसके पोजीशन के हिसाब से वर्ड्स दिए हैं. सो आई वांट यू टू टेक सम टाइम टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ डज इट मैच. डू यू थिंक दैट वर्ड मैचेस विद व्हाट इज हैपनिंग और आप कनेक्ट करें उस वर्ड को. एंड डू यू सी एनी वर्ड्स दैट आर न्यू टू यू और यू डोंट नॉर्मली यूज इट. अगर ऐसा कोई वर्ड है तो आप चैट में लिख के मेरे को बताइए ये वर्ड तो मैंने कभी यूज नहीं किया है या ज्यादा यूज नहीं करती हूँ या मैंने ये कभी यूज नहीं किया है. ऐसा आप सोचिए. Okay, so take a moment. What is the difference between beside? Good questions coming. I don't use behind that often. Then what do you use instead of behind? What do you use? Tell me that. What would you use rather than behind?
I never had the chance to use behind that much.
Oh, okay, I'm behind this person. I'm running behind a person. We normally are not running behind anybody, right? So I agree with you. I agree. There's a very good question asked by Vedant. He said, what is the difference between beside and behind?
Oi, oi, oi.
Okay. What's the difference between beside and behind? Because somebody else, Preeti, has also said beside is a little bit new for me. I'm not used beside. So beside के लिए मैं आपको एक और word देती हूँ जो आपने normally use किया होगा और आपने realize नहीं किया होगा. Oh, this is what beside means. So normally you would say, she is standing next to me. She is standing next to me. Instead of that, the more fancy word is, she's standing beside me. That means next to me. Mere, I don't know how to use in Hindi, but paas, mere paas
बगल
बगल में. Exactly, well done. मेरे बगल में खड़े. That is beside. Okay. So normally हम beside, मैं खुद भी ज़्यादा beside by the way use नहीं करती हूँ. I always use next to. Sorry, I just moved on. Yeah. So this beside के अगर आपने नहीं यूज किया, but अगर आप fancy writing कर रहे हो या कुछ formal लिख रहे हो, तो use the word beside instead of next to. Okay, and so that is the difference between behind and beside. Behind is आप किसी के पीछे खड़े हो और beside आप किसी के बगल में खड़े हो. Okay, so this is a great start, guys. So अभी और use करते हैं sentence में. Okay, let's go ahead. Now, I've given a few sentences और मैं answers मत देना मेरे को अभी. Take some time. Try and fill it up. So आप ये लिखिए ये sentence आपके paper में ताकि मैं आपको थोड़ा सा time दे सकती हूँ. So खाली words मत लिखिए. So जो yellow मैंने रखा हुआ है squares, that's the blank. So आपको उसको fill up करना है. The cow is sleeping dash the tree. My English book is dash the Hindi book. Apples are dash the plate. So take some time. Oh, wow. What's going on? This is not done, guys.
Who did this?
I have no idea.
1 minute, just let me. 1 minute, I need to. Nobody.
If you're not interested, you can leave, that's so much better, right?
I think maybe it's by mistake. I need to find out how suspend participant activities. I don't know. I'm guessing that's what I need to do.
Yeah, okay. Thanks. Okay, so just let me know if you're done. Okay, if you all are done, just put it in the chat or put a thumbs up or something to tell me that you'll have finished.
Who the hell is
Erin,
doing?
it's Erin.
Oh, Erin. Erin, this is such an ass,
Can we take her out or take him out?
I'm sure it's him. He's such a stupid idiot, You spoil my name. You join this kind of shit this session to make it crap. And जबकि हम किसी को मदद करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं.
I'm removing him.
I'm just reporting him before I remove him.
Oh, okay. He or she needs a hobby, a good hobby.
Really, it's some people, no? Yeah. And they use this, fake names. I wish I would know who these names are, then I would know what to do about it. Anyway, I'm so sorry about it. Please go ahead.
Not at all. Okay, just let me know if you finished.
Yeah, I'm done.
No, I'm sorry. I'm asking the kids. If they're done, just let me know so I can share the
A
answer.
few minutes more. A few
Okay.
minutes.
Take your time. Take your time. और ये मैंने आपको बहुत सिंपल सेंटेंसेस दिया है, लेकिन आपको ये बहुत काम आएंगे because you're going to use this a lot when you're speaking.
Ma'am, I have done.
Okay, great. So I have a pretty good amount of people who've said they're done. I'm going to give a minute.
Me too. I have also.
Okay, great, wonderful. So now I want you all to, yes, go ahead, Kirti.
The
You're
cow
done?
is sleeping. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just hold on. So actually, I'm going to share the answers with you all. Just double check and see which ones you all missed. Okay, I'm more interested in the ones that you all missed. Okay, because that actually starts a conversation. There we go. Okay, अगर आपने slightly different लिखा है तो कोई बात नहीं है. It doesn't have to be perfect, but let me know which one you all did differently.
Ma'am, a lot.
Ma'am, first one.
First one, what did you write for it?
In front of.
Ah, so that's okay. That's fine. That's acceptable. That's why I wanted to ask you. In front of is fine. It's not a problem. But because it's like under the tree, it's
Ma'am,
much
but
more.
image was a bit confusing.
Yes, I agree. There's one more image which is can be different.
Ma'am, my English book is on the Hindi book. I have an
Perfect. So that is also fine. It can be either on or it can be below. Okay.
Apples are on the plate.
On
ma'am.
the
Now that is, I won't accept it. So
Yes, ma'am.
the apples are on the plate is something that holds things. Like if it was on a table, I would have said it's okay to say the apples are on the table. Agar apples table ke upar hote, so you can say. When you have a cup or a plate or any utensil that holds things, then you say in the plate. Okay, so that is the only one. So agar table pe rakha hota hai ya chair ke upar rakha hai, you can say very easily say on. But apples are in the plate. Okay. Anything
Ma'am, I have
else?
used the girl is between the boys. Like
Oh, between. Now that is where I would say it's different. So just hold on. Okay. What
And the
about,
girl is in front of the boys.
well, she's not in front of the boys. She's actually amongst the boys, actually among the boys. Okay, so लड़कों के बीच मतलब between नहीं, between सिर्फ दो चीज के between हो सकते हो. So you can have only two
Okay.
things. If there are more than two people, the word between doesn't work. Okay, so that's a point you can write on a paper. So you can only be between two things. You can't be between a lot of things, more than two things. Okay, so there are two trees here and the house is in between those two trees. So that's a point you can write down somewhere so you remember. So this is new here. The girl is among the boys. Among means unke saath hai. So not necessarily beach mein, but saath mein. Okay, so the girl is among the boys. I was wondering if anybody may have used something different for the tree is in front of the house.
Yes, ma'am, I have written beside.
I love that. You used a new word. Well done. Okay, so beside also works in this one. Okay.
ma'am, I have written next to it.
Next to is also acceptable. Well done. Okay, both are acceptable. But remember when there is a context. जब context है तो आपको clearly बताना है किधर है. Okay, ये picture में आप कोई भी कुछ भी बोल सकते हैं, ठीक है, क्योंकि आप किस direction से देख रहे हो वो बदल सकता है. But अगर context है, so context के time confuse मत होना. अगर if it's in front, then say it in the front. If you're looking at it from the front side, कि बिल्कुल उसके आगे है, then say front. If you see it's next to each other, like for example, this is an object. If you see the other object like this, then you can say next to or beside. Okay. But if you see an object in front of something, then you say this is in front. Okay. So that the person who's hearing gets a better view of what's happening. Okay. So be careful about that, especially if you're giving directions or you're writing a travel blog, आप traveling के बारे में लिख रहे हैं या कुछ, so तभी वो positioning बहुत important है. Okay?
And I missed the last one too. Dave is coming towards school by mistake.
He is coming towards school नहीं बोलोगे. अगर आप towards school बोल रहे हैं, so then you would say not coming, you would say going towards.
Going.
Yes,
You're coming from school, okay? Because school is not you. You're not school. You're away from the school, right? And that makes the okay. Okay, I hope this helped you guys a little bit. So I'm going to move on to the next part. Okay, let's go. Now, next we're going to do prepositions of time. Okay, so this is the one that a lot of people make mistakes. But अगर आपको पता चला rule क्या है, आप बिल्कुल फिर गलती नहीं करोगे. Okay, so let's look at it. Here we go. ये सिर्फ time के बारे में, वक्त के बारे में. It's about days, months, years, weekend, घंटा, एक घंटे में, minutes. It's all about those. Okay, so I'm going to quickly show you something. Take a moment to look at it and see if this is making sense to you. Okay, आपको ये words, 3 words जो आप हैं वो use करेंगे. At, on and in. Okay, ये 3 words आप different situation में use करते हैं. आप पढ़ के देखिए and say it out loud to yourself and see if it's making sense to you. Is there something that you have used different?
ma'am, I use in the weekend and on Christmas.
On Christmas Day.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
use in the weekend. Oh, okay. So let's look at that. So हम उसके बारे में पता लगाएंगे क्या है. Okay. Okay, so the main thing आपको पहली चीज मैं बताऊं, in is used when it's not specific. When the time can be anything. Like for example, when I say in summer, I'm not specifying which day or month. I'm just saying one of the days in summer. When I say in 2015, it could be any day in 2015. It could be day, it could be night, I don't care. That's why I'm saying in 2015. When I say in the morning or evening, I am being not specific. In the morning, anytime in the morning, don't ask me what time, 10 o'clock. If it is specific, I will use something else. But morning and evening can have different times, right? So when it's not specific, we can use in a few days. I'm not saying tomorrow. I'm not saying today. I'm just saying in a few days. So when you say, when you're not specifying the actual time, but it is something in the future, or it could be in the past, doesn't matter. You can, instead of saying in 2015 is a past, right? So it doesn't matter as long as it's not specific. When it gets specific, that's when you use the word on. Okay, so when it gets very specific, you use on Monday, on the 24th of December, on Christmas Day. Okay.
क्या हुआ? खेल आओ, खेलने जाना नीचे.
Okay.
हम्म.
Okay. So now at किसके लिए use करते हैं? Why do you think at is? Does anybody have it? Sorry, somebody's. Can you mute yourself?
ज्ञानेंद्र पांडे अंकल के बेटा, तो तुम्हारे दोस्त हैं एक दो, कर सके लोग.
Kirti and Preeti, I have made you co-host. थोड़ा काम करो class में. Okay, please go ahead, Jyoti.
Yeah. Okay. So at किसके लिए use करते होंगे? At the end of the night.
I use at time. Sorry, at night.
At night. Why do you use at night and not on night?
Ma'am, I think that is specific. That's why.
Yes. Anything else?
I think it is used for future.
Yes. Definitely it's used for future.
Excuse me, I'm very sorry to interrupt. Ma'am, I had some network issues. I couldn't hear what you said of and. At, sorry. ma'am.
अभी तक मैंने बताया नहीं. We have not talked about at. I'm just
Okay,
hearing
ma'am.
from you all. Why do you think, okay, there's Brad. Oh gosh, what's happening today? Why are people coming in like that?
Wonder who's doing it. Is it possible to tell कौन कर रहा है?
हाँ, somebody called Brad.
Brad. Oh Jesus. Okay, he.
निकल गया.
Oof.
This is very annoying. Okay, no worries. We'll keep
Yeah, this
moving.
is the problem, you know.
मैम मीटिंग लॉक कर दो ना.
मीटिंग कैसे लॉक करूं? इतने सारे लोग ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं बेटा. सबको सीखना है ना. ऐसे गधे लोग तो आते रहेंगे हमारे लाइफ में, बट वी आर नॉट सपोज टू. प्रॉब्लम ये है कि यहाँ पे कोई सेटिंग नहीं है जिसपे मैं क्लिक कर सकती हूँ कि टू स्टॉप देम फ्रॉम डूइंग इट. लास्ट टाइम आया था पर यहाँ पे सिर्फ इज इट शेयर स्क्रीन ऑफ कर दिया मैंने. स्टार्ट वीडियो.
You can enable the option that only host and co-host can screen share.
था मैंने तो allow
Screen
participants.
share के लिए, I think annotation you'll have to stop maybe.
Ma'am,
Should I annotation only that everybody can do, is it?
Yeah. And generally I wouldn't mind students doing it. It would be nice.
I don't think they have like a specific key इसको annotation. वही मेरे को नहीं मिल रहा था setting. मैं कब से ढूंढ रही हूँ कि annotation कैसे stop करें. बाकी सब stop कर सकते हैं. चलो कोई बात नहीं. This is also life's lesson. चलो ऐसे आप लोगों को बहुत बार लोग मिलेंगे. Let's move on.
Okay, so now let's get back to at. So at is working like on. So it is specific, but it's slightly different because you're saying at that time you did something, not on that time. Okay, so at 10 o'clock, the door closes. It's not like on 10 o'clock the day, because it doesn't have anything more than that. It's one specific moment, right? So when you say that, like on Christmas Day, you're specifically saying on that day, right? The whole day is there for you. When you're saying at Christmas, you're actually generalizing that at Christmas, I eat a lot of cake, okay? But because it's not like Christmas is a specific day, though you're not telling me Christmas की morning में आप खाते हो cake कि रात को खाते हो, वो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. But at Christmas you eat cake. So at is a little bit of a combination of both. On and in का combination है. बहुत specific जगह पे आप at use करते हो. So at is specific, but there is something happening at that time, at that particular time. Okay. So even on Monday, while Monday is specific, you don't know whether it's Monday morning, Monday evening, or Monday night. Okay, we don't know that. Whereas at is like you're trying to specify that I'm talking only about a certain time or a certain moment or a certain day. Okay, so at the weekend. So तुम्हारे लिए at the weekend, you're not saying that the weekend का Saturday है या Sunday है, but weekend is specific. So it doesn't matter. The moment the person you say at the weekends I go to play golf. Now the person will not wonder. जो सुन रहा है वो wonder नहीं करेगा आप Saturday golf खेलने जा रहे हो या Sunday golf खेलने जा रहे हो. Because आपका information सिर्फ उतना है. At the weekends I play golf. You can also say at the weekend नहीं मैं specific day पे खेलती हूँ. Mondays खेलती हूँ. Then you say on Mondays I play golf. You don't say at Mondays I play golf. I hope you all can see the difference. And the difference sometimes might be a little bit confusing, but the more you use it, you keep using, and you never use it differently. Okay. So let's go ahead. And I have got some worksheet for you. So again, this looks, I don't know what's wrong with the worksheet. There seems to be some extra lines in there, but doesn't matter. मैंने left side में आपको, sorry, I'm going to share again here. So left side में वही preposition time का मैंने आपके लिए दिया है ताकि आपको ये जान के आप use करेंगे. Okay. So I want you to take the information from the left side and apply it to each of these phrases and decide where it should go. So is it at the morning, on the morning, or in the morning? So it is obviously in the morning. So it will go in this particular space. Okay. So ऐसे करके आप 3 columns बनाइए please. अपने paper पे 3 columns. This is very important. It's good for you to have this. Okay. So have 3 columns और एक column का heading है at, on and in. So 3 headings हो गए और आप every single thing को आप bifurcate करिए. Okay. So give it a shot. आप सिर्फ ये 5 को पहले करिए. 6 sorry. ये 6 को पहले करिए. फिर हम उसको discuss करते हैं.
Didi, I was just reading that it is written that disable attendee annotation, but I can't see it there. Can you see it on yours since you are sharing? Is it possible?
Let me just do that.
You'll have it. If I share it, I don't get it. You have it. On top where the annotation thing is.
Yeah, it's not allowing me to see anything. I think I have to go, you have to go in settings. Disable annotation for others. Okay, I can do that. Done. Yeah, I've done that.
I was not sharing, na? Even if I'm the host, it doesn't allow. Okay, so one problem sorted. John, please जरा अपना म्यूट कीजिए खांसने के पहले और कुछ भी करने के पहले थोड़ा.
Okay, so if you'll have finished the first 6, then sorry.
One minute, I'm removing him. God, these people. Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, so we're looking at these 6. So please share with me if you all have been able to add them in different columns. Preeti, go ahead.
Ma'am, in the morning.
Correct.
At noon or midday.
Well done. So at noon. Because you
At
won't say in the noon, right? In the noon doesn't sound. Aap loudly keh ke dekhiye in the noon or in midday. It doesn't sound good at all. So it is at noon.
Okay, ma'am. At my birthday.
Now here.
On my birthday.
On my birthday.
Yes. Sorry, Kirti. I know your sound was not clear, but it is on my birthday. Okay.
Okay.
Because it's a specific day. It's very specific. That day, the whole day, like morning, afternoon, night, it's all your birthday. The whole day is your birthday, like Monday. So think of birthday like Monday. So on Mondays, I do this. On my birthday, I do this. Got about 10:30?
At 10:30.
Well done. At 10:30.
On May 5.
On May 5th. Okay. What do you think? Yes, it's
in summer.
Correct. It's specific, so it's on May 5th. In the summer. Well done. In the summer. Okay. So I'm not going to do many more of this. I think you've got a hang of it. 1 minute आप देख लीजिए सारे words को और आप देखिए if there is any word that's confusing. Like look at all these ones here. Okay. Look at all of them and see if any of them is confusing you. That something is not clear to you. Like I'm not sure ये क्या है, ये at है और वो हम discuss करेंगे. So that, you know, we're not spending too much time on this. On 5th March. Thanks, Raki. I just saw your message. Yeah, correct. Well done.
And what should we use with bedtime?
Sorry? Bedtime. Okay. Now, bedtime क्या use करेंगे? आप at bedtime use करेंगे? और in तो नहीं use करेंगे ना, because bedtime
At.
clearly है, specific है.
On.
At or yeah, on.
On.
At,
At.
Ma'am, we
Okay,
can use both.
You can use both. So let's say at bedtime. So put it in a sentence. The best way to be sure is put it in a sentence. Normally at bedtime, I do this. Normally on bedtime, I do this. Which one sounds better?
at.
At. It's definitely at bedtime. Now again, bedtime is like a weekend. Bedtime is like a weekend. Nobody tells you bedtime is bedtime. आप उसको 9 बजे बोल रहे हो या 10 बजे बोल रहे हो या 11 बजे बोल रहे हो, no, it doesn't matter. That whole thing is bedtime. Bedtime is very specific. It's got a special word itself. और bedtime अपना ही एक meaning रखता है. जैसा weekend. हम हर चीज को वीकेंड नहीं बोलते हैं. वीकेंड का एक अलग ही नाम है. सैटरडे संडे उसको हम वीकेंड बोलते हैं या संडे उसको वीकेंड बोलते हैं. Right? So when you have something really specific, then in that case, you will say at. So it is definitely, and that was such a good one. I don't know who asked it because I didn't get his chance to see it, but yes, it's indeed at bedtime. Okay.
Ma'am, what we will use with a weekday?
What do you think?
On.
On a weekday, because that is weekday is like Monday. Anything that has like a day in it, just go for on. Okay, it's like, remember Monday, on Monday. So on weekday is fine.
Okay, ma'am.
Sometimes if you try to remember the rules, you can get confused. So always say it out loud and think what makes sense. Whether on a day makes sense or in. In is actually quite easy. In is, not specific at all. So in aap galti nahi karoge because it's not. In 2013, in spring, in the 1990s, that's all like very clear. So only focus on at and on as much as you can. So I'm just going to clear this up and I'm going to share with you. If you all want to take a screenshot, please do it. I've got this whole thing here. Or actually, if I share my presentation, this will be there for you. Okay? So let's go ahead and do the last one. Preposition of movement. Okay, now this is, according to me, the easiest one जो आपने ज़्यादा use किया होगा. बहुत ज़्यादा use करा होगा. So I don't see a big problem here. But if there's something that's like specific or, something is new, do let me know and I'm happy to help you with that. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so now this is to give you a visual to use words that you have not used. Like for example, beside. आपने beside use नहीं किया है, तो आप formal writing में beside use कर सकते हो. So इसमें भी देखिए आपको कौन सा word है जो आपने ज़्यादा use नहीं किया है, or something that you are not clear about. And now it's really clear. Okay, so take a moment to look at each of these pictures. It's really important that you do that.
Past the box.
Past the box. Okay, so आपको मैं एक example देती हूँ. I ran past the hotel, or I ran past the restaurant. So मेरे left side में या right side में कहीं भी एक restaurant था या कुछ, or the school, कुछ भी था, मैं ऐसा दौड़ी कि that I went past it. I crossed it and I went past it. मैंने उसको pass कर दिया. Does that make sense? So this bird is going to fly past the box. It's going to fly across the box और box के आगे भी उड़ता जाएगा. That's what it means.
Ma'am, on to the box.
On to the box. Okay, now this is very interesting. This is when you are physically putting yourself, okay? So into the box is you're going into the box, like, you're going into it, okay? In the way that you're supposed to go. Onto the box is always on the top. Into can be from any side. Onto has to always be from the top. I jumped on top of the horse, or I jumped on top of the train. I went into the train. Ab train ko andar kahan se jayenge? Upar se thodi na jayenge, right? So you go into the train from the doors of the train. You use the proper doors to go into the train. But if you jump onto the top of the train, you're still on the train, but you went on top of the train. So you jump onto the train. So when I say you jumped onto the train, pata nahi aapne kahin se upar se train ke upar kooda hai. So train ke upar pahunch gaya. So the on means always on top. I hope my examples are helping. If you'll need more examples, just let me know.
Under the wall.
Sorry?
Under the wall.
Under the wall.
Actually onto the box, off the box, over the box, all are confusing.
All can be used. You can even use off the box. Sorry?
Off the box and
Off the
over
box
the
is when
box.
you're getting off the box. So आप box के अंदर नहीं जा रहे हो, बाहर निकल रहे हो, इससे दूर हो रहे हो. I got off the train.
Okay.
When you get off the train means आप train से निकल गए.
Okay.
So that is the slight difference. And somebody asked for under the wall. Under is I'm
और out of the box में फर्क क्या होगा?
sorry.
Off the box और out of the box में फर्क क्या होगा?
Okay, now out of the box and off the box में क्या फर्क होगा? Top से. Again, it's from the top. I got off something. And out of the box, आप किसी चीज को out of the box निकाल रहे हो. You never say, I don't know, let's say you have, say, saris inside a bag. Okay, you have saris inside the suitcase. I took the saris off the suitcase. You don't say that, right? You say, I took the saris out of the suitcase. So you took it off properly. Off the box is when you do, like you get off it. Off is like literally used very specifically. Off with a double F. Off the box is you just get off it. ऊपर बैठे हो, on top बैठे हो, और उधर से आप निकल जाते हो. Okay? So off and onto the box, both are when they suggest something on top of something. Not inside or not from the sides, on top of something. Sorry, Harsh, did you raise your hand, Sridhar?
Yes, ma'am, I have a query.
Yes.
Ma'am, what is the difference between under and beneath?
Both are actually very correct. They both can be used. Beneath is just a much more sophisticated word you use for beneath the wall.
Okay.
You can say beneath the wall. But beneath is also used for like, beneath my, sadness. You don't say under my sadness, right? You don't say under my sadness. So beneath my sadness, I'm still happy. So beneath is used very sophisticated. It's like used very specifically. Whereas under is used more for physical stuff, like under. There's a chair, there's a cat under the table. Whereas beneath can be used for non-physical things as well. Beneath her smile, she was crying, so you can use beneath. That's such a nice word. Yeah.
Ma'am, I have seen many people like they are using I was sleeping beneath the blanket. Like it was physical, still they are using it.
Yeah, it's a little too much. It's like bringing a cannon where a sword will be enough. बहुत ही ज़्यादा fancy हो जाता है. I'm under the blanket. You don't have to say I'm beneath the blanket.
Okay.
You don't need to say that. But if they say it, it's not wrong. It's very fancy. That is actually a very interesting conversation, guys. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah. It's making me also think about some of those words I have not used for a long time. So this is really cool. Okay, so in that case, I'll take you forward since you'll have had some time. Oops, sorry, once more reminding you, but let's do some more practice. I don't think we have much time, so I want to do this practice with you all, which is travel preposition. Okay, this is a very day-to-day thing. You might be using it. So can you all please complete this right now with me? So you have some words at the top. So some word bank has been given to you. So you have to use these words, okay? And try and fill up as much as you can. So take your time. You don't have to write the entire sentence, but at least write the words that you've used. For number one, what did you use? Number two, what did you use? Because we don't have that much time. So I don't want you to write the entire sentence. Just write the words and put a number next to it. अगर कंफ्यूजन जरा भी लग रहा है ना तो जोर से बोल के देख लेना और ट्राई करना दूसरा वर्ड एंड सी व्हिच वन साउंड्स बेटर. ओके, आई थिंक आवर इंस्टिंक्ट्स ऑलवेज आर वेरी गुड बिकॉज हम सुनते हैं और आप जितना ज्यादा पढ़ोगे, आप जितना ज्यादा रीडिंग करोगे, न्यूज़पेपर आर्टिकल्स पढ़ोगे, बुक्स पढ़ोगे, आपका इंग्लिश विल गो टू अ कंप्लीटली डिफरेंट लेवल. I was such a reader when I was growing up. You know, I used to read all the time. जहाँ भी library में कोई भी book मिले, मैं पढ़ती थी, सारा time पढ़ती थी, and that actually was much better than what English I learned in school. So reading, कभी मत stop करना. Read articles, read newspaper articles, read books. You know, अपने और अपना language को कभी मत भूलना. Your own language is a strength. So आपका जो नेटिव टंग है ना, आपका जो मदर टंग है, वो आप मत छोड़िए. उसको यूज करके आप इंग्लिश में आगे चले जाइए. बिकॉज इट विल अलाउ यू टू थिंक. समटाइम्स आई डोंट नो व्हाट टू डू से इन इंग्लिश. आई थिंक इन माय ओन लैंग्वेज. आई थिंक इन तमिल एंड आई से ओके तमिल में अच्छा दिस इज द वर्ड आई नीड टू यूज. ओके, फिर मेरे को वोकैबुलरी मिल जाता है फिर इंग्लिश में. यू नो, सो कीप डूइंग दैट.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask something. What is the difference between beneath and underneath?
I really don't know actually. To me, both of them seem the same. Underneath and beneath are the same. Okay, so underneath is again more physical than beneath. Now, I'll try to explain to you now how I would use beneath is, I'm not going to clean the toilets. It's beneath me. Okay. I'm going to clean the tanks underneath. Okay, so underneath and under, they're all more for physical things. Beneath is used more for like metaphorical things, like not necessarily concrete or physical things. So beneath are both carefully used.
So if we have to like write that I was sleeping under the bed, like if the sentence is sleeping under the bed, so should we write I was sleeping beneath the bed, or should we write I was sleeping underneath the bed?
Underneath the bed there is something. You can use underneath or under. Both are good. Underneath and under both are good. But beneath आप carefully use because we don't say beneath the bed. Beneath is more to show the difference, like someone is below me, like below me, but below is also used for physical things. You know, her flat is below my flat.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So I'm hoping I'm making that clear to you all.
Yes, ma'am.
मैम एक्सक्यूज मी मैम, एक डाउट था.
हाँ, go ahead.
वर्ब से था लेकिन.
Sorry?
वर्ब से था, वर्ब्स.
हाँ, बोलिए.
ऑक्सिलरी वर्ब्स.
Oh, बाप रे, auxiliary verbs आज नहीं. I have to look up auxiliary verbs myself.
So ma'am, which one is right? The yolk of the egg is white or the yolk of the egg are white?
Is white.
No ma'am, the yolk of the egg is yellow.
Oh my goodness, you're trying to trick me.
Ha.
Oh, goodness.
Thank you ma'am.
But this is you guys are such a great bunch, I cannot tell you. That was so cool, and I've heard that many times from my sons, by the way. पहले भी सुनी हूँ, but I think I just got so caught in the English that I just forgot. You know, yes, it is yellow. Absolutely. Okay, so I hope you all have had some time to do this. So quickly, मेरे को कीर्ति का आ गया है, so I'm just going to go on. And Preeti, do you want to help us get started on this?
At the bus station, I got into the bus.
Very good. Let me use my annotate. So into the bus. Well done. Anybody
When
else? Oh, sorry, Preeti, go ahead.
Okay, ma'am. When I got in the car, it wouldn't start.
When I got in the car. Why don't you say when I got into the car?
Into the car.
Right. When I go at the bus station, I got off the bus.
No. I'm just asking you. When I got in the car, it wouldn't start. So in the car would be, or would it be into the car? When I got into the car. So careful. It's not. Yeah.
I think we should use into.
The car. Yeah,
Correct.
ma'am. Into.
Correct. You have to use into. In the car means like literally you're going inside the bonnet or something. You know, in the car means आप उसके अंदर like पेट के अंदर या कुछ चले जाते. That is in. Okay. Into the car is you're getting into the car. You're getting into the train. You're getting into the bus. Okay. After the flight, I got
off the plane.
Well done. So off has its uses. Okay. I arrived at,
At airport.
At the airport.
At the airport. Well done. Sorry about that. When I got home, I got
Off the car.
I got off the car. You can say out of the car also. Got off bhi theek hai, out of the car bhi theek hai. You can use both. Both won't be considered wrong. Okay. I had to stand
In a queue.
in a queue. Well
In
done. Yes, correct. I had to pay
At the
Off the ticket machine.
Off the ticket machine.
At the ticket machine.
at the ticket machine. I had to pay at the ticket machine. So the payment is money, right? But kahan? At the ticket machine. Okay, so it's at the ticket machine. I arrived
At Liverpool at 9.
At Liverpool at 9 o'clock.
careful.
In Liverpool.
Yeah, I arrived in Liverpool. Okay. So where in Liverpool, do you know that? No, that's why we're using in. Whereas at the ticket machine, तो एक ही जगह है और कोई जगह नहीं है. When we are talking about a specific ticket machine, right? So we are at the ticket machine. So do you see the difference between the at and in now? In is like, yeah, somewhere in Liverpool. I don't know where. I exactly pata nahi hai. But I arrived in Liverpool at 9. Preeti, you have a question, sweetheart?
No, ma'am.
Okay, sorry, your hand was raised. I got
Into the
To the party. To
I
the
got
party.
to the party, because into the party would again mean like the party has a stomach and we're getting into it. So careful.
Can you say it? I got off the party.
I
At
got
the
off
same-
of the party.
you won't say off the party, you would say I left the party. You won't use the word I got. You won't say I got off the party. There's no getting off. It's not something that's moving, right? Party is not moving. It's there. You're either going to the party or you're coming out of the party. Okay. So there is no off. When I drove,
Two
To
glasses.
Glasgow.
To Glasgow.
To Glasgow.
correct. My telephone rang when I was
When-
The
In
car.
the car.
Car.
in the car. And I was reading a book.
In the
In the
train.
train.
In the train. In the train. Ma'am,
I
at
was-
the train.
Okay. In the train.
I was reading a book on the train.
Oh.
Okay, because you are on the train and you're reading the book. So sometimes it's like, iska English language ka ye thoda sa hai. You have to sometimes like just use it a lot. And
I think we also use on the plane, like
yes, you use on the plane. Yes. Because it was after the flight, so that's why you got off the plane. But you can say, I was traveling, so I got on the plane. I needed to travel to London, so I got on the plane. You can say that. That is absolutely on the plane is correct. On the train is absolutely. So that was, sometimes you'll always come across some things that will be a little bit tricky, and we just keep using it. The more we use it, you're going to get really better. Rachna ji, are you here? Sorry, Rachna ma'am.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so I was thinking, I think this has been a heavy duty one, so I'm quickly ready to kind of stop at this point of time.
Okay,
And next time maybe we can go back and do some of these things again so that it's fresh in our minds, and then move to the new thing. So at this point, I'm going to stop sharing. And Rachna, shall I say bye to everybody?
Yes,
Or?
because I'm going to end the session. I have another session in like 15 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to end this progresses because I have something else coming up after this. Thank you so much, Jayashree.
Not at all.
तो thank you बोलो इतना अच्छे से.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Actually, very
you, ma'am.
good because I had so much
Thank
fun.
you, ma'am.
I had so much
Thank
fun.
you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you
Bye.
guys. Thanks for being so engaged. And
Thank
have a great week.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye. See you guys.
You
Bye, everybody.
too.
Bye, Rachna. Thank you, Rachna.
And whoever wants to join the 7:15 session, I will be back in 10 minutes. Give me some time. क्योंकि अभी खत्म हो रहा है. अगर जिन को पता नहीं है, we have a session for just communicating and all of it. Whoever's shy, introvert, stammer, stutter, या ऐसे ही बात करना है, chill करना है. हम every first and third, क्या मैंने बोला? हाँ, first Monday of the month and the third Monday of the month we'll do it. I'll just be back shortly. I'm ending this session. I'll start the new session. I got to go. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Good evening.